Okay, I'm recording.
Ah, it's so good to be dead again, isn't it?
I love being dead.
It's just been a few months since we've been dead, y'all. How you been?
Hi.
Too
We're
alive.
dead?
You just been too alive? Yes, we're dead. This is a dead play. There's live plays, there's actual plays, and this is a dead play. It's kind of our shtick.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to be dead with us, Penny?
This is all we've got going for us. Don't take this from us.
Yup. I was born in the dead, and I will die in the dead.
Well, you know what they say, get busy living or get busy dying. And I was like, get busy dying? For sure.
I'm here for this, 100%.
Yeah.
Pat, how does it feel to be on a dead play? You've been on the channel before on live plays and actual plays. Now you're on a dead play. What's that like?
It's like the live play, but being undead.
Cool. And so what's your favorite part about Undeath?
Eating brains.
Brain is pretty good. I'm a big fan of Brain myself.
Oh, you know
All
what? My
right.
favorite is Raisin Brain. That's like the best flavor.
Oh my gosh,
Hey.
Raisin Brain. Or the one with the little granola, like the little crunches.
I feel like actual play is like the parent category, and live and dead play are the different types of actual play. Like we're actually dead is the point I'm trying to make.
I think that we are the queens and non-binary royalty of the dead play genre. I think we're pioneers.
I think we are the world. We are
The world. And you know what? We are the youth of the nation. Thank you so much, Puddle of Mud, for making this the second year of the Concord and Tales of the Concord here on All on the Table possible. My name is Molly. I am going to be your GM for this, our epic new adventure, Shadows in the Daggerlands. Bum bum bum. I am here with a few friends that you may recognize and a few friends that you may not. Why don't we start with a friend that you know very, very well. Our friend, spinning wax all up and down the west coast of the United States. Just a raving lunatic.
I've heard that about her.
Is that me?
Spinning wax up and down the west coast?
I know. I
Is there another west coast
That's
radio
case in
DJ in
point.
the room?
I'm just making.
And of course,
sure.
it's Scarlet. Scarlet, how are you? Tell me how you're doing.
I was kind of making sure she was done speaking. Also,
No, I've never done speaking. Haven't you noticed?
I've never once in my life heard that expression. It's cute. I don't actually play vinyl. That requires skill. What I do is different. So
You heard it here first. DJing does not require skill. DJ
I'm
Adorablue.
quoting you on that.
Signed 4/8/2024. Happy Eclipse Day, by the way, from the past. That's the sun and
that
moon.
happened today.
Remember to go stare at the sun. It can't hurt you when it's dark.
Yes, true.
Please don't do that, friends.
So sorry. Adora, how are you doing?
it's okay. At nighttime, you can see the sun in the sky, and that's safe to stare at. The sun kind of like powers down at night. Anyways,
Anyways,
It's not just the geocentric model, it's the Western Hemisphere centric model.
I'm Adora. I use she, her pronouns. I'm going to be playing Wig, who also uses she, her pronouns. And I'm going to... do you want me to pick who's next, or do you want to pick who's next?
Speaking of she, her pronouns, there's our friend in the mountains.
hi.
Dragon.
Nope. Curse you, Molly. Hi, I'm Scarlet. I'll be using she, her pronouns, and I'll be playing the character Bayou, also known as Bay, who uses they, them pronouns.
And speaking of they, them pronouns, let's kick it over to our friend Penny.
Hi, my name is Penny, and I don't use they, them pronouns. You do, because they're my pronouns. Whoa! Okay. I will be playing... Are we saying character names yet?
Sure.
I'll be
I
playing
did.
Taz.
Sorry.
Y'all did.
Yeah, I will be playing Taz. Taz uses he, him pronouns. Taz is a Twinkie half-orc.
We love a Twinkie half-orc.
What a snack.
What a snack!
Speaking of snacks,
so much to eat.
My friend with the blue hair.
Hi, I'm Kat. I will be playing Ember, a little fox girl that has a pet fox on her shoulder. So, double fox.
Double fox. If anyone says Tales of the Concord has no fox to give, they are lying.
It's true.
And so,
we love having a fox rogue on the party because it lets us outfox our opponents. We've got 2 up on them. They would need 3 to outfox us.
big true. The odds are stacked.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be playing Ember, our main character, and then her pet fox Soot. So it's Ember and Soot.
Character, Ember.
Oh, piss off.
All right. Damn it, Ebo! Flutters of sheer deep purple and blue robes ripple, disturbed by the volume of the professor's voice. Hey, I mean, who does he think he is? Arresting my research team? Why the hell would I steal my own research? A stream of profanities tumble out of her mouth as she plummets backwards into a well-appointed chair on the far side of the desk. The office is a cool respite from the pounding sun of the Haadmurzian autumn. The darkened stone office is draped with brilliant pinks and purples, as well as illusory paintings that show hyper-stylized renders of different cities from around the world. A souvenir snapped up on the professor's last trips to the city of Baratu. The sharp, sweet smell of magical inks blends with the sour, vinegary odor of preserved parchments. In dark wooden chairs on the other side of the desk sit 4 figures. Please introduce yourselves. Who's our first person?
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Taz, and I don't want to be here, but, you know, sometimes your parents tell you that if you don't get a passing grade, you'll get kicked out of your dorm room.
Rules is rules. And
Rules is
Taz, as the other characters are looking over you, what do they see?
They see the tallest person they've ever made friends with. They see I'm 6'6", but I'll never admit it. I've got 2 tusks coming out of the front of my mouth. I'm a half-orc, if you couldn't catch on by now. I have pale green skin. Pale, like kind of darker. It's a solid green. It's not like a dark, mossy green. It's more of like a really pale emerald, I would say. My whole thing is very manicured. Okay, you can tell that I like floss around the tusks. You know, I've got e-girl eyeshadow and eyeliner on. All right, I've got earrings, rings. I've got a circlet. Okay, I'm wearing a flowy silken robe, and if you look carefully, you can see little scripted lines in it that glow softly, just slightly with magic. Nothing too fancy, nothing too expensive. And always on my person, 100% of the time, is my spell book. It is embossed. It is bound in the finest of leathers. It has all sorts of embroidered little occult symbols on it, and it belongs to, or it belonged to, the headmaster whose name escapes me. Molly, what's the headmaster? Thipa, yeah. It is Thipa's old spell book. Thipa gifted it to me, and I am, of course, the greatest wizard you've ever met. I'm very good at what I do.
And who sits? Who did you have sit humbly in your humble wake beside you?
Well, I didn't know it at the time. I almost sat on her, but apparently her name is Wig, and she's next to me. Little small bean, probably struggling to see over the table.
Yeah, should I, like, give, like, an in-character introduction also?
I would. This is more of a physical description of your character.
Okay, yeah. So, Wig is a gerbine, which is a species of tiny mouse people, and in particular, Wig is a kangaroo mouse who has really big legs and a long tail. Like, not like tall, long legs, like big feet for jumping. And,
can we get tail wags? Can we get tail wags for a little mouse person? Like, everybody a little tail wag?
Thank you. Thank you, yes. I was waiting for somebody to say that, and I was like, it's really weird. It's been so long, and nobody's suggested the tail wags for my character. So, she
much more in your comfort zone now. This is your wheelhouse. Here we are.
Yeah. She has like gray fur, and is just kind of like always, twitching, making like little nose movements and like hand motions and stuff. Very mouse vibes, actually, in that sense. Not very like, it's just kind of a gerbine thing. I don't know if I have a lot of other physical descriptions that for right now. There's other stuff that will come up later, but you wouldn't be able to tell just from... It's true that I'm very small. My character is like 2-3 feet tall compared to the 6'2" of Taz.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that that's my description.
For some reason, I'm picturing Taz like constantly focusing on the reduce spell. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just constantly like thinking, like,
but he's trying really hard.
Like he's like, I just can't cast this one. This is the only spell I've ever cared about casting, and it's the hardest one.
I just can't do it.
And so, towering over the 3-foot frame of our friend Wig is a 2-foot change is our 3-foot change friend with whom the professor is making eye contact. A halfling.
Okay. So Bay, his name is Bayou, or their name is Bayou, I apologize. But they often go by Bay. Absolutely gorgeous, mop of pompadour on the top, curly brown chestnut, stormy blue eyes, luscious lips, exactly 3 feet 4 inches is what we're gonna go with. And don't get it wrong. Bay is wearing pretty conservative sort of acolyte clothing, just what everyone else in the temple is wearing, pretty nondescript. But there is an air about Bay that they are kind of put upon in this moment. Like there's deep focus on the professor, but everyone else around them is kind of inconveniencing them a little bit, and they're not doing a great job of hiding it.
And who's the person inconveniencing you? How do you know the person inconveniencing you to your right?
Yeah, I think maybe I might even turn and say, Taz, the professor does know your name, and so do I. I have been tutoring you for the past several months, if you remember.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, if you could just tell us more, Professor. I think that's so inconvenient, and I just can't believe they did that to you.
Did we hit? I think we missed Ember.
Oh no, not that was intentional. Absolutely. Paige just skipped over. Doesn't want anyone else to introduce themselves. Completely fixated on the professor.
Well, we can just say Ember's hiding, right?
And so, as Bay attempts to trample over everything, the camera pans over to the next chair over.
Sitting in the shadow, there is a black fox, or what appears to be a black fox person in a hood, with another bundle of black fur sitting in between the head and her hood, as 4 small green eyes glow and glare at the professor, and as they listen close, on their back is a long pole with what looks to be hair sticking out of it.
So you're wearing a hood? Does the little fox also have a hood?
I like that. Yes, let's go with that.
So it's just
Ember,
four little eyes with a hood.
Ember,
Yeah.
that's a really lovely fur you've got on. Where'd you buy that?
Wait, what?
It's your collar, the fur that you have on. It's a wonderful accessory piece, a great statement piece. Where'd you get it? It looks so lifelike. It's like it didn't even
really hard. I'd be like, that is so rude. You can't just ask someone that.
You just hear, and it suddenly jumps on, and the fluff suddenly jumps on you as Soot comes alive and starts scrawling all over your face. All across his face.
1d4 bite damage.
As this happens, you see a little poof of some kind of dark pigmented dust fly off of Ember. And you see kind of like it ripple, and you see a little whoosh of this kind of darkened dust. And you're like, what? And the professor will say, where are my manners? She pauses. She takes this ornamented water cup from in front of her. She takes a sip of it with two hands and then passes it to Taz in the traditional welcome of Haadmurzian society. The Ohabala will bring more water than any sequemantic project ever done in the Southern Waste. But not if our funders keep accusing us of plundering our own stores. She sighs under her breath. Enough water to make the dam breaker blush.
I have a cup in front of me that's like we're all going to drink from it. That's the tradition.
That's the tradition.
Okay, I take way too big of a gulp. Like...
Absolutely.
He just reaches over and glares at Taz as they take the...
She straightens herself up in the chair that she's been slumped back in, and she says, Bay, let my words run clear and sweet. The letter of recommendation will be yours if you complete the following. Meet with Ebo. You'll find his offices in Verdantia, and she rolls her eyes. Just half a mile from the temple. They're called the Green Aegis Banking Group. Pricks! Recover the two sequemantic prototype nuclei. It's a tremendous amount of raw power. And the interplanar magic suspending it could be potent fonts for someone who has less than great intent. And I'd start that look at the dig site if I were you. She flips a scroll along the table at you, Bay, as she leans back in her chair again and runs her hair through some shaggy, ear-length dark hair. Green eyes staring off into the distance, looking at one of the illusory paintings on her wall. Candlelight seems to dance across her olive skin and flicker from the obsidian and amethyst ring around her protruding canine. Here's the roster and inventory for the dig site, and I have shared that prop with you all already on Discord.
Perfect.
And then, this professor, is this Thipa or someone else?
This is Grermo.
Okay.
This is Grermo. This is one of your sages.
And Professor... Everything from this list was taken?
That's what Ebo says. I haven't been. I don't want to.
And to be clear, we go and we do this and we get the information, and then I'm out of the remedial track. Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
She sits back and kind of twisting this obsidian purple ring on her tooth, just kind of like looking at you and is like,
So
I'm
as
like
soon
already
as
looking away. I'm
she-
like,
As soon as she started giving this list, Babe pulls out like a piece of parchment and is furiously taking notes. And they turn back to the professor and say, "That's only 2 things, Professor. What's the third thing that I have to do?"
Go to the dig site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Figure out what happened at the dig site that got my research team arrested.
And if I do these things, you'll definitely be able to write that letter of recommendation.
You will be on the front doorstep of the Exarch.
Mm-hmm,
I'll go
okay,
with you.
Great. I promise you, we are going to go to that dig site and we are going to find out who accused your amazing research team of stealing these things wrongfully, obviously. Right, guys? Right?
yeah.
So enthusiastic. It's going to go really smooth.
And our friend here, Wig, will be accompanying you for monitoring and quality assurance purposes.
That's one way to say it. Yes, thank you.
Sorry, you're what's your role?
Oh, hi. Well, I'm actually here as a representative of the Mogarstar, and well, they sent me to be to make sure that everything is above board, as it were. So that's all. Just a formality, really. But
Above board.
above board, yes.
Okay, so you're like a proctor.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term, but probably yes.
Okay.
Quick question for you. Do we have to procure the ones that they lost, or just replacements for these to prove that they didn't do it?
Well, I can also answer that because it's quite important that we find out actually what happened, because this isn't the first of these. So.
You see Taz's face is like starting to sort of fall as he realizes that this is not like a go and like fill out the paper, like this is going to be real work, and there's going to be like an auditor with
The
them.
eyes are glazing over a little bit.
Just like and yes, and what do we have the 7 days of the week here? Or like,
There's 12 days a week.
and do they have names?
They do.
Okay, well, I don't know them out of character, so
Yeah. Today, what do you want to know?
I'm gonna ask if we're gonna be back like in time for something that does not matter, like a party in like 4 days or something.
And they will, and she will look at you. She's still spinning this on her canine, and she'll say, "The sooner the better. I'd really like to not have all my people put in a Malgoktarian debtor's prison."
We're going to make sure that doesn't happen, Professor. Don't worry. And we will get back when we get back, Taz.
And if we go there and they're already dead, a tragedy. But it's
Ember
I'm
looks
sure,
at Taz.
Professor, I'm sure that won't
not
happen.
Dead.
Yeah.
Out of character, the researchers on the list that they just handed us, they're all in jail now.
They're all in Malgoktarian custody.
Here.
In the Green Aegis Bank.
Like,
oh my
in
god, Juan is
Haadmurz.
on this list?
Like,
Wait, Ember, did you know about this? Juan is on this list.
Why do you think I'm here?
I knew about it too.
Yes, we are all super not surprised that you knew things, Taz.
where's the jail that they're in? The custody.
Oh, it's if you go across the bridge.
Asking out of character, like.
It's in Verdantia. It's in the Malgoktarian area. It's a place that will be very familiar to you.
Like where we are now is Haadmurz, where the academy is,
Yep.
and where they were doing the research, which is where we need to go, is far away.
Is to the southeast.
And
A
so,
good ways.
are they like over there or over here? Is my question.
They have been arrested and brought back to Haadmurz.
Okay, so they're here. That's all I wanted to establish.
Yep.
Ember asked for the item list and starts to read out and think about where each of the stolen items might be sold in the black market, because she has connections to that.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to try to show this? I think I could do it.
I can.
I can do it later.
Yeah, we can also do it in post.
Oh yeah. That seems
so. Any other questions for the professor?
Is there anything else that you can tell us about the Green Aegis Banking Group, or anything else we should know about EBA that maybe would help us get some more information? I know you're like really in the know and connected, so.
Yeah, he's a real pain in the ass grantor. You should see the form I had to fill out to get this. Sorry, he's a very generous grantor whose relationship is very important to us. And the hundreds of pages of application that we fill out for every single project we do in Daggerlands are totally worth it. We're very appreciative of their patronage.
So you'd say he's like a real wet blanket.
Excuse me.
Yes, he is very good at being used to extinguish fire.
Okay. Dripping.
What a waste of water and blankets, though.
Fire is very at the Green Aegis Bank. You really don't want to see a fire.
Right, and just as a last point of order, what is who's our point of contact for updates on the mission?
What?
Who as things progress, who should we be reporting to?
Come back here with the sacramented course.
Okay.
Or don't.
Okay.
I'll make sure we keep you updated, Professor. I'm sure you'll be very interested to know in the progress that we've made.
I do actually, okay, look, I am a wizard. I was gonna try to set up the sending spell to contact you about as things progressed. But, I mean, whatever. I mean, if you don't want day-to-day updates on how things are going, I mean, just go.
I will be happy to read the research reports in the end.
Okay.
I'm sure your reports will be
detailed and written by hand.
Unseeably well done.
Plus, Taz, are you sure that's a good idea? Didn't you have to make like a sacrifice last time you used the sending spell?
No, that was to acquire the ability. I actually can ritual cast it because that's what a good wizard would be able to do.
And so the professor will say, yes, I must give another class. I'm due up in Takrawaj. Excuse me, please leave. Go. Get the course, or don't. Just get them. Yes, go.
Okay. I stand up and I'm like getting vibed out. I just stand up and start walking out.
So as you open the door, like there's a past you, and I'm like suddenly in front of you, and then like jumping away again.
Oh gosh!
Bounce.
Ember gets up to leave last and looks at the professor. I expect at least a quarter of the usual payment for these relics, and just leaves.
Okay.
I like her.
And the professor will stop spinning the ring and look at you for a second, and then we'll just kind of sit there and just kind of twiddle with this obsidian ring on their right canine. So you make your way out into the brutal Haadmurzian autumn sun. You make your way down through the main market square of the Thorn and across one of the bridges past the Temple of the Gallant Dagger, a weird stabbing peninsula of verdancy surrounded by these deep wastes with red and yellow sand pouring and flying here to and fro. As you make your way past the embassies of foreign dignitaries, you wind your way through the green, bright, verdant green of the Malgakdar area. And you arrive at the Green Aegis Bank, where 2 trees seem to be sprouting from the top of it, growing into a beautiful crown. And beneath it, this beautiful dark wood bank with ornate golden vine doors seems to sit in front of you.
Okay.
So we're gone from the professor.
Unless did you have anything else that you would like to ask?
No. Once we're kind of out of earshot, I'm gonna turn to Bay and try to take a little sidebar with Bay and be like, "All right, Bay, look, we just gotta tell them that the guys are innocent. We just gotta tell them that they're innocent. We just have to figure out what happened and then get back. All right, like it's not a big deal. You're always doing this extra stuff."
Okay. You listen, Tots.
Okay.
I have a lot riding on this right now. Okay, this is like a big deal for me, and I need you. Like, I know you don't want.
Just real quick. I am looking like this at you. Like,
I know you don't want. I know you don't want to do this, but it's really important. Okay, and then they like put their hand on your kneecap.
okay.
That's where they can reach.
Okay.
That's like.
Okay. I got stuff writing on this too. All right.
I just feel like
Brian's in town.
Be really, really disappointed if you didn't try really hard right now, Todd.
You're bringing my parents into this. Like, okay.
I'm just saying.
All right. We'll save the research team. Okay, we'll save the research.
What do you make of this like gibber? What is Wig making of all this jibber jabbering about grades and whatnot as you're kind of walking through the city streets?
Wig is a little amused. I'm not really like saying anything because I'm not that trying to like step on any toes. I have very large toes, so at home that's like a big faux pas. With my family.
You struggle to step on toes. Yeah.
Toss is up for it.
I'm only imagining Wig's character. I can't get this out of my head. No, that's in Coraline with the jumping rat. That's all I could think of.
I keep thinking you described yourself as a dune mouse, and I'm like Muad'Dib.
She's got the nose thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like the kangaroo mouse, where it's just they've got long legs and they're just bounce.
Yeah, I said kangaroo mouse earlier. That's like the same.
That's what in Dune Muad'Dib means desert mouse. It's like exactly the animal that Adora was
That is a real
describing.
Animal that exists. Also.
Yeah.
Like this is
the
desert. I watched a video about how the desert kangaroo mouse.
And so, as you're making your way up to the bank, you see these beautiful ornate doors, and going around them is this wonderful gold. And you see, for all of the time that you grew up in the Thorn, every step into Verdantia is like a testament to everything you didn't experience growing up. Ember and Bay, like it is like everything. Like for Taz, it's like okay, like my family's rich, but we're not Verdantia rich, so it's like a little imposter syndrome coming here. But for the other two of you, it's like arresting how nice and green this area is. Like it's wild. And you see a druid kind of off in the corner, humming along the enchantment of plant growth, enriching the earth all around the bank, keeping it green, creepy green, like a Mormon church in a developing country.
I think Bay is trying not to touch anything because
I am fully just taking citrus off of the trees as I walk by.
I think Bay is walking behind you, trying to grab them from up out of your arms and like shove them back into the pots so that no one notices.
Amber's kind of standing in the corner. She is almost put off by all of this greenery and all of this nicery. It just feels weird to her, and she feels like she's in another realm. So she's just like, ew. I feel uncomfortable.
And so, you see, make a group investigation check.
What's a group investigation check, Molly?
Roll the d20 and then add either your investigation if you're proficient or just your intellect.
It's gonna be a 5.
And then tell you.
5.
Okay.
I got
And then
a
tell
6.
me what the result is.
Okay.
I got
got a
a
6.
16.
Karen team.
This die was literally hovering on 1 and then was like, no. You get a 19. So my result is 22.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Cool. So, Wig, you kind of recognize this as you see these two kind of door guards swing open the doors for you, and they look like they're to Bay and Taz. Like, these look like very druidy folks. Like they have like leather armor and like a wooden shield, and it's very earthy and everything. And the other two of you see this, like, you see through this disguise self spell, and you see like these heavily armored, clanky, mithril plated armor justicars that seem to be carrying seem to have a symbol of a cage inscribed into the back of their hand.
Hey, look, druids! And I start walking towards them.
Yep. And so they hold open the door for you and they say, "Business."
And I'm leading right now?
Sure.
Oh no.
My business is my own. You will allow me and my compatriots through, because I am a wizard of the Sequomancers.
I'm imagining halfway through that, Ember just comes up, grabs the back of your hood, pulls you back. Business. Just walks forward.
Now, can you do me a
Sorry
favor
about
and
these,
just...
Rain and Jost. It's
Well,
nice to see you, by the way. I hope that everything is going great with you and your daughter. But anyways, we are going in here to see Ebo. So thank you.
I'll
real
tell you
quick,
what, my daughter, her Fey-Ball lessons are not going great. You know, they were trying to move her from a defender to a striker in the Fey-Ball lessons, and it's just been a mess. She just doesn't have the top speed, you know?
Oh yes, I honestly, and I've seen her before. I don't know why they would. I mean, unless that's something that she wants, because I'm sure that she could. But anyways,
Run
sorry.
for days,
We
but
have to-
climbing, sprinting. Okay, well, I'll see you later.
Thanks.
And so you'll step. They will. You'll see kind of. You told them you were going to see Ebo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll see this vine come up out of the floor, and it will kind of glow to like a blue pink. It's a metallic vine. It'll glow to a blue pink, and then it'll kind of dive into the wooden floor kind of seamlessly, and it will kind of like guide you along to this back office, and the doors seem to swing open as it passes through them.
I think that,
do you follow?
As we go through, I think that what I like to imagine for Wig is like I'm just kind of like standing and like hanging out and like twitching, and then like there's like a rush of movement that you can barely track with your eyes, and then I'm just like way up in front of you, and then I just wait while everyone like slowly walks and gets closer. I am going to start going that direction.
I'm gonna hand my like presumably quite large armful of citrus over to one of the guards really awkwardly, and then just follow.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't do that. It wasn't me.
Literally, we're gonna have like way more than this tonight.
Sorry.
I pick one
I don't
out
want
of the-
this. Get this out of like. Take this with you, or I don't care.
I
Do
grab
not hand me oranges. I don't care.
I grab one like very nonchalantly and just start peeling it and eating it.
Upon hearing that they're free, Ember comes over and just starts shoving them in her
The
pockets.
situation has changed.
There is like a flash of there's a flash of like white, I guess. And then like suddenly I'm like holding an orange and like eating it and it has like
I
a hole
told
in
you
it.
that was a good idea, Bae.
There's
Bae,
a
I
flash
told
of-
you this
didn't,
was a
like,
good idea.
I didn't move, like you could see me not move, but there's a flash of white that you didn't even like track properly again. It's really fast. And then the orange is like in my hand, like dripping because there's a hole in it. So that's the
And so as you look back out the door, Bae, as it's kind of closing behind you, you're making your way out. You see orange blossoms already closing from where you had previously seen Taz pluck them, and already kind of like in very quick motion forming into fruit.
I knew they would do that.
Squid's tits. This place is crazy, guys.
So you make your way, and
It's really
you're
something,
thinking, yeah, the druids are well paid for casting one spell 8 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's awful.
Couldn't be me.
I can't imagine how boring that must be. Is sitting there concentrating on disguise self very poorly. So you make your way back, and as your hand goes through the illusion, and you touch this like metal plate armor, and you're like,
"You're doing great, bud. You're doing great."
So, you'll make your way down, and there's a very you'll see front of house Ebo will be the nameplate on the door, and it illuminates with the kind of that deep blue and that dark purple that the vine kind of slides up the wall and illuminates it for you, and the door sits there in front of you.
As we walk like right as we get to the door, I kind of look at the door and like sigh, like it's mysterious. You don't know why yet.
I'm gonna look over at Wig and assume that it's because you also don't like Ipa and be like, is he that bad?
I mean, I've worked with him before, so it's okay, you know.
I'd like to try to tell if Wig is scared. Can I take an insight for that? Like what?
Are you? Yeah, sure. And
I mean, I guess I don't have a good baseline because she's already so twitchy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that she might be a little inscrutable. You're confused.
All right.
And you hear
I'm often confused.
You hear a little bit of hollering on the other side of the door.
Okay, guys, here we go. Put on your happy faces, and then Bae's gonna reach out and give a little knock.
And the door kind of flashes with the Ohabala colors and swings open. Boom! And you see behind the desk this stern-looking Triton, who has like they're kind of traditionally have like very long flowy hair and like an abject like rejection of Triton custom, like a very close cropped military cut. And this kind of like a slim-shouldered man, but seems to have a little bit of shoulder padding in his suit jacket that hangs off of him with like a green. It's like a green jacket with brown stitching and a white dress shirt underneath, and he has these intense kind of beady black eyes that look up at you and say, "Took you long enough. You must be here from that no-good thief, Grermo, aren't you?"
What's a Triton?
They are the they're kind of they're blue people.
Blue
Simple
people.
enough.
Okay. Would I have ever met a Triton before? Would I know what they are? Okay.
Yep.
They're like they're an aquatic race, right? That's yeah.
Historically.
Oh, in the desert? Is that
In this
common?
oasis area? No, it's kind of weird. But also, he's got very cropped hair and seems to be very straight-laced, which is also kind of out of keeping with some things that you know.
Wig jumps up to what seems to be one of like several differently shaped perches placed around the room for like different types of species to communicate with Triton. Yeah.
Yep. So you'll if you move in, he'll kind of motion to some vines will grow up out of the floor and form different seating for whatever is comfortable for you. And he'll say, "All right, do you have the apology? Have you brought the reagents back for me? Or are you going to pay me? What's going to happen?"
Actually, we're currently, first hi, I'm Day.
I know. Yeah, okay, great.
May the waters embrace you, as they do us all.
Yeah, and then he picks up the water cup and, like, really quick, he goes, and then he hands it to you.
Thank you. I'll pass it around. We're actually conducting an investigation. Isn't that exciting? We want to make sure this doesn't happen to any of your sites again, because that'd be a real poopy bummer, huh?
Ember comes up, puts her hand on Bay, right?
Uh-huh.
Bay's shoulder, and it's just like, we're trying to get information. Can you tell us anything about where, or anything special about the materials, where they came from, who's the buyer, or, who is the seller, who did you purchase them from? Just general information.
Well, the cores are Ohabala originals. This is one of the first developments with this new core. The reagents for them came from all over the Vermeret, all over the continent. And obviously one of your Ohabala friends had some of their other researchers come in the night to steal the cores in order to sell them. And he kind of he blinks at you real quick. His eyes meet Ember's and is like, "Didn't you?"
Does he... How tall is he?
The Triton's about 5'10".
About 5'10"?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to interpose myself between the small people and the Triton. I'm going to get uncomfortably close to him, if I can. And I'm going to say, "And what proof do you have that our people did this?"
Where else would it have gone?
Let's put it this way. If it was stolen and sold here, I would already know about it.
Listen. I already
and I
know.
wouldn't even be here.
This Wanda Faru person has been meeting with some less than savory folk throughout the city. We've got our eye on him, and he definitely could have been selling it. We have no problem believing that. And this Eskinder person, they've been mining forever. And who's to say that they didn't steal it for that?
I'd like to interrupt him.
Okay.
I'd like to take... We're there's a desk, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to just take my hand and slam it on the table and say, "I asked for proof." And I'd like to roll intimidation, if that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Bay jumps behind you and goes, "Fish tits toss."
I'm... Okay, 13.
Okay. So you slam the desk and you make a very loud noise. And you see him taken aback and he says, "My obligation is in proof. Our money has been wasted. Your university wants to come back for us to get more money to do this development on these damn Onorama lands, and I'm not going to have anything else disappear. The Green Aegis Bank is not losing a nickel on this. So unless you come up with a proof, I have all that I need."
Well, sounds good. We'll come up with the proof later. I start making for the door.
We will hold these people here.
I'm gonna reach back and grab Taz before he fully leaves the room and just be like, just a couple more questions for you, real quick, before we go.
Okay.
Just a couple. Who you said that you had seen one meeting with some shady characters, which kind of seems like profiling, just something you might want to think about. But I would like to know who they are.
And so he'll say, "Not my business to know who they are. Definitely underground connects, selling some reagents to whoever. I'm sure he was a drinker and a philanderer.
And
It's
do you know
a
where they were
discussion
meeting?
for another time. I'll talk about it later.
Okay, perfect. I love that for us.
Look, do you have any other parties you know of that might be interested in these materials?
Yeah, like if it wasn't our people, hypothetically, who would it be?
Yes, I mean, what would the Ojibala need with a high-pressure acapella EQ? What would we need with something like that?
You sell it, I'm assuming, and then you use it to buy whatever you sit around the university doing. And he sort of sits back, runs his hand across the kind of close buzz, and like leans and looks kind of like it's doing his entire best to like look down at you, Taz, like knows you're a party boy, has seen you at the clubs, and is like, whatever you spend your money on.
I will have you know, I come from a long line of wizards. I do more magic in this pinky than you have in your entire body, water boy.
I don't need magic. I've got gold. Gold makes magic come. Gold makes magic go.
Right, and right now we're interested in getting you that money back from those regions. So let's all work together, okay? And why don't you give us that list of other alternative suspects that might be out there?
I know everything I need to know. You can go and talk to the thieves if you need to do so. But I know everything I need to know. I've told you everything that I believe. I don't believe anything else these liars are telling me.
I'm gonna take out my spell book. I'm gonna cast a message on what's his name, the Triton.
It is Ebo.
Okay.
Ebo.
What does this look like when you're doing this? Before you do it.
Yeah.
Message VSM. So I am whispering under my breath. It's message, right? Yeah. I'm whispering under my breath. I'm gesturing, and I am channeling it through my focus.
I think that I'm going to jump on you because I don't know that you're not going to hurt them, and I do like.
It's a cantrip. It's a cantrip. It's harmless.
I don't know that much about magic, but I've seen some pretty not harmless cantrips, so that doesn't really reassure me too much.
I
yes, wizard. Yes. Goodbye.
No, I'm gonna. Okay, I guess I won't cast message. Never mind.
I mean, you can do it. You have like, out of character. I don't know that you're not like gonna hurt them. So.
I'm gonna cast message on the Triton and whisper in his mind and say, "Look, I know you did it. You can just tell me, and we can split the difference on the profit." I'm gonna.
And he will say, and he will kind of like you'll get like a message back, and it'll be like, I hope your wells run dry.
Oh, shady.
And so he will usher you out, and he'll say, yeah. Rain will show you to the vines will show you to where the thieves are being kept. If you want to ask them about any of this other nonsense, we know everything that we need to know.
Well, just so you know, having your hair cut like that really restricts the water flow. So maybe think about that. And then I'm gonna turn around.
May it flow clear and sweet for you. Wig, I need to speak with you.
Oh, yes, sir.
Goodbye. And he'll kind of shoo the rest of you out, and one of the vines will start taking you down a hallway.
You were right, Taz. Let's get some more of those oranges.
Yeah. See, I have good ideas. Does message require line of sight?
No.
No. Then, as we leave the room, I'm going to cast message on Wig and say, like, "Hey, keep me updated on what's going on in there." It's you hear it as a whisper in your mind, and you can respond mentally. See,
Okay.
if I understand how the...
My response is, so, I can respond mentally, like, just once or multiple times.
As long as I'm casting it, I can keep casting it.
Once. You get one time.
That was it. It's gone.
Wait. I thought you just keep messaging.
Every
Oh, it's
No,
one
we're
you keep
just
one at a time?
we're just being jerks.
Oh, okay.
I think it is once per cast, right? You get one there, one back, and then you can cast message again because it's a cantrip apparently.
Right.
But it is in fact one time, and I thought that was funny, so.
Okay.
How do I... how do I... Alright, so, and Evo will say... and this is like, you all have kind of been guided out of your shot, so this is just Wig and Evo at this point.
So, how can I help you, sir?
What's up?
Since we're being ushered out, as we're heading out, I try to drop Soot off in a dark corner just to keep an eye on things.
Okay, make a stealth check for it.
Or maybe sleight of hand?
Would be stealth, right?
Oh.
It depends on the Fox's roll in December.
It's Soot rolling, and that is a 12.
Okay, and you'll hear Ebo as you're going out the door. You'll say, "And the little one," as he kind of peers up over the desks and sees the little emerald lights flashing.
What you wanted me to say, sir?
Not you, the smaller one.
The other little one.
You see a ball. You see a ball of black bounce on Wig's head as it stumbles out of the room in a huff.
And so you'll hear Ebo will get kind of quiet, and you'll feel you will feel in the hallway. You'll feel a silent spell fall over the hallway as you're kind of walking down, and you will, which is weird and jarring if you've never done it because you're just sitting there talking, and so he'll turn to you and say, "Listen, I don't give a damn what actually happened. 2 solutions, Wig. 1, you get the cores back and you finish the installation. 2, pin it on the Ohabala, and let's be done with this. I don't want any other solution. Do you understand?"
Pin it on these two, or do you mean pin it on the researchers that are already in custody, sir, or just the organization in general?
All of the above. Any and all.
But if we do that, then how will we be able to figure out who actually has been doing this every time? I mean, wouldn't it happen again, sir?
What I care about is the Green Aegis' investment. The Malgokdar, we have very little interest in continuing to support the Honoramel. They expand too quickly, and Retalara is another one of these issues. We cannot spend all of our resources furnishing desert for people who are quick to run from our lands.
Oh, I see. Okay, well,
If we cannot preserve Verdantia, we shouldn't be spending it on preserving land for people who don't appreciate it.
Okay, understood, sir. Thank you.
And you'll kind of be led back out to the front. As for Ohabala folks, as the silence spell fades and you make your way down the hallway, you are led to a kind of a group holding chamber, where you see the various members of the group all together. All the members that are on the itinerary. kind of
Oh,
all
just where
in
they're being
a
held.
holding
Okay.
cell. Yep.
They're all in the same cell.
Yeah.
And Juan is there. Juan DeFaro.
Juan is there.
I
Do we
wave
know
like
any of the other?
completely missing the vibe. Like Juan, hey.
As soon as Ember sees Juan, there's a flip in her personality, and she's like, "Juan, honey, what's going on? What happened? How did you get here?" And just like almost like a concerned mother.
And so you see, like, very in stark contrast to this deep black fox on the other side of the bars. You see this kind of like bouncy little red fox creature in Ohabala robes kind of move over, and I'll say, "Oh, it's so nice to see you, sister. Well, Eskinder was on guard one night, while we were at the dig site, and there was an explosion. And when we went running, we ran through the tunnel system as quickly as we could, and we found her passed out. And she's been, and he kind of leans in just to speak to you, and he says, she's been kind of different since. I think the knock on that, whatever happened, really changed her. I don't know.
And I'm sorry, who is her?
Yeah, who was this?
Eskinder. Which you would recognize as one of the names on the list that Grermo gave you.
Okay.
So she's like in the same room right now.
Yeah. She's sort of like over in the corner, kind of quiet.
A little different or very different?
That night, and you see it like a pregnant pause, and he says, "That's the night everything went missing. The cores and some of the more valuable equipment went missing."
Different as in it's not her anymore at all? Or different as in she might know something?
I don't know. She's always quiet, but
Think you can convince her to speak with us?
she hasn't been doing much talking recently. But yeah, I can absolutely try.
Is she in the cell?
Yeah, it's probably like a 30 by 30 with bars and bunks and everything.
And she we know who this is because they're Adorablue people. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just kind of shout at her like very not kind to someone who's like had a traumatic experience. Like, hey, we have to ask you some questions. Could you come here so we can ask you some questions?
And they just sort of are sitting there quiet, and this kind of like this boisterous person will walk over. His name is Benyam, and he'll say, "Listen, she totally set up an explosion and got it stolen. She got passed over for promotion to Sage, and she set this up, and now we're all screwed because she will not admit to it. And now we're all going to be screwed because of her."
How much time? I'm gonna turn to the party and be like, do you guys think we could spend like 10 minutes here so I could detect magic on her, maybe?
Do you want to like do work on the Yes, we can stay. You please.
Well,
oh my God. Yes. Yes.
Well,
This is such a big deal.
Oh, okay, well now I don't want to do it. Now
That's so uncool. I can't believe you're doing that.
Okay, so it takes about 10 minutes, but I can ritual cast Detect Magic, and we could see if there's any kind of charm or enchantment on her. But I think I need her to come here. Right? Like, get closer? What does this say? It's a 30-foot radius, actually.
We'll
so
say you will be able to. She will be able to fall into your radius from where she is.
She will?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll be doing that for 10 minutes. That requires my focus if you guys want to have some conversation.
Is there anyone else? So we know all the prisoners?
Yeah.
At least passingly. Is there anyone that I think would be like particularly informative or helpful that I could talk to?
You know that there's one of the there's a member of the team named Bazin, who they will be able to share with you. Let me grab their stuff. There is, and so he is a core of them, and so you look over, and he was one of the community outreach people who was on the ground there, kind of like helping spreading understanding amongst the people of Red Alara of what the Ohabala was doing. And you think he would have a good feel for like things that were happening on the ground, or like other organizations in play.
Okay. I'm gonna hail him over to come chat with me.
Okay. And while you're hailing him over, who is this person who just came up in our face and was talking to us?
Benyam.
I look at Benyam and tell him, yeah, we already know that. We just need to come talk to her to find the stuff to get her out, to get you guys out of this. Think you can bring her over for me so we can talk to her?
I can bring her over here. She's not going to say anything. She knows she's guilty.
Still... They can help us out, and I guess I'm trying to I don't know if this would be deception or persuasion.
No, that's fine. I'll go get it. And she'll come on, Iskander. Come on, tell him that you stole it so we can get out of here. And he'll bring her over, and it's a halfling. Kind of like a better known engineer, really gifted at mining, and using arcane magics to extract minerals. And she's standing there, kind of this halfling woman, kind of like a longer curly red hair.
And then does my
soft face.
Do you think my detect magic is?
Let me do the
Sure.
Let me do the Scarlet bit first. Did you want to talk to Bazin?
Yes, I do want to talk to Bazin.
Okay.
Hey, Bazin, how's it going? Praise be. May the waves break you. I'm so sorry for your situation, but we're all meant to be where we're meant to be, right? And the waves will take us where they will.
You're always exceptional, Bay.
We all do what we can in under the great crushing weight of the sea.
Wow.
So, anyway, while you're in here, I was hoping, seems like you're not doing a whole lot, so I was hoping maybe you could answer some questions for me.
Yeah, great. I'd love to.
Thank you so much. Also, do you need anything? I've got some oranges here.
Yes, we'd love some oranges.
Here's some oranges. I've got a lot, actually.
I look up from my spell book and I'm like, I told you, Bae. I told you.
You were right, Taz. You were right on this one.
and you'll sit. Bazin will lay in and be like, "That's the first time anyone said that to him."
The first time I've said that, I'll tell you that much.
I'll be around when I get back from my conversation also.
So
I'm doing this for Juan, okay? When I go back to my spell book.
I've got just a couple of questions. So I heard there was a pretty nasty explosion that happened on the night that the reagents were stolen. Is that what happened?
Yep.
Did you see anything suspicious that maybe could have ticked you off?
No, we were adding a new extension that would take the plumbing a little bit further into the mountains, so that extraction could happen more easily.
Mm-hmm. Were you there when the explosion happened?
I mean, I was in the shallow bunk, but yeah, it took me a little longer to get there.
I heard kind of one of the other inmates over there talking maybe a nasty rumor about how that girl Iskander maybe was something to do with it. What do you think her vibe is?
She's just been quiet. She just likes to work on schematics. I don't know about all that shit. Benyam and Iskander have gone head to head for forever.
Do you think she's changed, or is he just
I think he's an asshole.
Really? Yeah, he seems
Yeah.
like it. I could see that. Okay, well, I mean, we are trying to, like, save your life right now. So if there's anything else that you could think of that was, like, important or noteworthy, lay it on me.
Well, there was a business there that was specialized in selling reagents. Sandara Reagent and Supply.
And you guys have sold to them before?
No, they
were
pretty...
just, like, interested, or what? Were they, like, sniffing around?
No, we would go and drink at the Violet Fiddle. And they would be there, and, we'd do what we could. We would, for day-to-day stuff, sometimes you need some powdered silver, they'd have it.
Slip a little under the table kind of thing, just to keep yourself afloat on the righteous waves. Is that what you're talking about?
No, to make holy water.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah,
good and
of course.
evil.
Right, obviously. Yes.
And he's looking at you with this look of, like, genuine, like, what are you getting at? Like...
I'm also sorry, Molly. What was the name of the
Sandara? Sandara Reagent and Supply.
Okay, well, I'll give them a little ring-a-ling. We'll chat with them, and you just hang tight, okay? We're gonna get you out of here. Don't you worry.
In this universe, a ring-a-ling is like going to see somebody in person, because then the door has like a bell on it, and there's
it's literally
no
you gotta
possibility that it could be.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, what else could it,
You can in the old days. This doesn't matter. But in the old days, they would have a bell that you could pull to like tell someone that a message was coming in, like a hotel or something, on like a pulley,
or like for servants or whatever to come.
It's still like local to like your location.
This is, and kind of like Wanda Feru will say this to you, real quick, or actually this is something that that Ember would know, is that Sandara was busted for scrapping stolen reagents in the past. They were kind of like a chop shop for magical devices that were stolen in previous years. So that is kind of like a name that but they're still in business even after they got busted. So on the outside, everything should be in the up and up. And that's something Ember would know. All right, and so anything else you want to ask?
No, that's good.
And then as your detect magic spell fades, you will see like one of them has like a normal bottle of magical ink, like that a wizard would keep. A
wizard like
the girl that went nonverbal. Does she have any kind of like abjuration on her or anything? No, she's
no illusion, no abjuration.
And she hasn't said a word.
You just you called her over and then started channeling.
Well, yeah, I was just trying to see if because she wasn't talking, right?
Yes, she's just kind of
since the incident like went from like being quiet to not speaking to being nonverbal all the time, 24/7, right?
Yeah,
yep.
And obviously that can only be magical because I don't know that people like that exist.
And so
I turn to everyone and say, I don't know why she's not talking. She doesn't have a charm on her or anything.
She's up to the gate, right? So she's faced. Ember looks at everyone and is like, "Shoot, give me some room. Let me talk to her." So she kind of sits down and just like very kind of looks into her eyes and was like, and starts whispering, "I know who you're working with. They're not coming for you. We're your best hope right now." She's trying to basically, assuming that she is working with someone and that she did know someone, she's trying to convince her that she is with them and that...
Sure, make a persuasion check.
Persuasion or deception?
Either or.
Okay. I have deception, not persuasion.
Great.
I think it sounds like deception. I think that's good. I think it's valid.
9.
And you see, they will, kind of like in a contemporary hand signal, like you're thinking like ASL, but for the era, something you'd recognize. SRS is what they'll kind of give to you, and like thieves can't.
Okay. SRS?
Yep.
I don't know what it means, though.
No.
Okay.
I do, but not in character yet.
Actually, in this game in this session of the Concord Illuminati, there are a collection of businesses that are named after trans-related terms. So if you can get them all and you comment them down below, we will be able to send you a cool set of dice. So
A DIY pussy installation.
yes. So please, if you are able to get, this is not a joke. This is an actual thing. If you get all of the answers correct, and their trans-related term meanings, there will be some dice coming your way, as long as you live within the continental United States.
What are the questions?
If you can get all of that, there are going to be a number of businesses that are trans-related terms.
Yes, and they need to do
And
what with them?
You need to get all of them.
They need to say them?
Just identify them.
You need to comment and identify them.
You need to
The
identify
first
them.
person
You
to
need
do
you need
all of them.
Be like, hey, that's one of the businesses, and then do that over and over again until they get all of them.
I have
get
the
a
identify
list.
spell. Does that help me?
No.
Oh, okay.
You need to give me a list with all of the businesses that are trans-related terms.
Cool.
And the first person to get them all and all right will
So you're saying that they
get
have
the
to
gift.
like tell you which trans-related term that the business is?
What the name of the business is, what the term is.
Cool. And then list all of them and not list any others that aren't. That like any decoys.
Yep.
Okay.
No. If you can just get them all, I'll take the decoys too.
Okay.
All right. So, we will go forward. So yeah, they'll just say SRS. Yep. Anything else you want to say or ask the prisoners about?
So you said that there was a Corvus. We'll just ask you. Do you think that there's anybody there that I know from like my area, or from the desert or whatever?
Taking a look around. Bazin is someone you would have met, someone who would have kind of done like an outreach, would have like you would have met him tabling at a Mogok Thought event in the past in Verdantia, where he would be representing the university, because he's like an outreach specialist, so he would look familiar. But
Okay.
you see your friend already, you see your new workmate already talking to him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mostly, I just wanted to see if there's anybody that I would want to be like, talking to, just like, not like for investigation purposes.
Mm.
So, I think the answer is no.
Nope.
So I'm good.
I hand an orange to my friend after she at least gave me a little bit of information, just nod. And then I imagine I'm going to have to call back in Soot, because Soot's probably wiggled through the bars and is playing in Juan's lap.
You actually see, it's actually kind of, there is a Sahaugan in there. And
What's that?
it's like a humanoid with a kind of a shark head. And you see them kind of standing there, and Soot is actually kind of like yipping at the Sahaugan, and they're just like looking at it, and they're like trying to they're like putting a hand out trying to pet it, and it's just not having it.
Now, me
but Master
personally.
comes back.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Wait, who are you?
Taz.
Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking, guys. Okay, girls, people, foxes. I don't know, furry, fucking little beans. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking: is we got the Triton guy, hate him, but he thinks the Ojibala people did it. Okay, and then we got what is his name, Benson or something? Binion. Yeah, Binion thinks the girl did it. Girl won't speak for herself. She's probably did it. So I think we get Juan out because he didn't do it. She did it. We go home. Seems
Where
like
are we when you have this conversation? Are you doing it right here? Like you're just saying this here, or did you wait?
in front of
Okay.
yeah. That's two people who think she did it. That's like two people.
Quickly, did we like notice this? Did we notice Eskinder making any hand signs?
No.
Okay.
No, this is very subtle.
I was waiting for Taz to be done, but afterwards, does SRS mean anything to you?
Like to us?
To the group and to us characters.
And again, you're saying this like within full view of everybody.
I've walked away from the bar.
Okay.
I've walked away from the bars, and I'm just kind of whispering this quietly to the rest of the party.
So I'm not sure exactly what the two of you are planning to discuss, because I don't know what you mean by those things. But I will tell you that we are in the bank right now, the Green Aegis Bank, and so there are eyes and ears everywhere. So just be aware of that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, she's not really defending herself. Binyam says she did it because she was there at the explosion. The other guy said that was probably one of our guys. Like, I don't know, do we have any reason to think it's not her? She won't say anything about it.
Let's go take a walk and get some fresh air.
Okay, I was trying to say it so that she could hear it and, like, react to it.
Make a group perception check.
I got a 6.
19.
I got... Oops.
19.
13.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So we don't get anything from that. Okay. What is she? What is she?
Maybe I'm having you roll for something outside. Maybe I'm having you roll for something another time. Maybe you just rolled dice for the last session of the game. Hard to know.
So. How exciting would that be? What is she? Does she look scared, or she just looks like numb, or what? Like, what's her vibe?
When Benyam is like waylaying into her, she's just sort of like dissociating down. Like she's just sort of like gone. And sort of like the kind of like the red curls are like somehow are like tight, but sort of like stretching out and are getting kind of dirty. Yeah. She's just sort of dissociated.
Okay, so she doesn't look like she's this. It doesn't necessarily look like this is like she's afraid to speak or reluctant to speak. She's just sort of completely checked out.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the spell that you cast in her? Detect.
I cast detect
You're detecting
magic.
detect magic.
She has no magic on her.
I might as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just detect good and evil, just to see if there's any. I don't know if she's been possessed or turned or something.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I just get to know.
So, detect evil and good.
For the duration, you know if there's any aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature's located. You also know if there's a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically,
consecrated or desecrated.
Oops.
So
Sorry.
you feel the magic pinging off of like 2-inch metal sheets, kind of that line the area holding, like, that kind of generally contains this holding cell. So you feel it like very narrowly hedged into the room that you're in. As you kind of flash the area, you detect no aberrations, no celestials, no elementals, no fey fiends or undead, and no consecrated or hallowed ground.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Taz, it's not that you're wrong necessarily. It's just that you're like wrong. You know what I mean? So
Right?
I don't know what you mean.
Right.
Because-
That's the problem, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At this point, Ember comes up, grabs one of Taz's ears, and just like, stop giving the girl a hard time, and starts dragging him out the door.
When you say grabs my ear, you jump to do that.
Yeah, how do you get up there?
You jump, and then I have a person hanging off my ear, like, ow, fuck, ow.
Yeah, I'm going with Ember. Ember isn't quite as short as everyone else, but she's like 5'4", still enough to where she can like reach on her tiptoes, and then just like drag down a little bit, so it's just like
ow, like real, grandma energy. Real.
Exactly. She has mom energy to her.
Like big mom energy. Okay, so yeah, I guess you guys hang in there, and it's gonna be okay. All right, we'll be back probably.
And Juan will come up and say, "You're gonna get us out of here."
For sure. I have got a letter of recommendation writing on this, so
I have the only plug at the school writing on this, so we'll get you out of here, Juan.
I'm getting you out. Whether or not they find you guilty, we'll get you out one way or another.
I give you a little fist bump.
And you see Juan like a smile creaks across the kind of like, and you see like some canine get out, and it's like he feels very safe that you've said that to him. You feel like he's like reassured.
But you're not guilty though, right? Because that would make this a lot harder. Just to clarify,
You can tell us. Here, you can even, and I message him like, here, no one can hear us. You can just tell us. It'll make our job easier if we know what's going on. It's like, you're not supposed to lie to your lawyers. You're not supposed to lie.
And it just cuts off mid-sentence because it's like 25 words or something.
Of course,
message is not 25
do
words.
it.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm just checking. I'm just like, it's good information to know.
But if you did...
Why would we steal? We want, like, this is like, all of us have letters of recommendation writing on this. Like, this is the way up. It's
Right.
in
No,
the
that's a good
labs.
point.
Like,
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. No, they didn't do it for sure. Okay. No one would jeopardize their academic career. So.
What are the conditions like in the cell? And are there guards?
No, there are not guards. You will see there is abjuration magic present, like, around the cell holding them. It's kind of like this seamless, you can sort of tell that this was fabricated from a whole metal block, like this was a magical make, and has been enhanced with arcane protection. But the room, other than that, surrounding it is like a thin marble, a thin layer of marble flooring, and you see kind of 2 inches of you will have noticed with the detect magic and with the detect evil and good that it's kind of hedged in by thin metal walls.
Does it look comfy? I feel like
they're not.
Moghtar might be pretty comfy prisons or like jails. Sorry for like this type of situation. You know, like it's not like they're trying to like, you know.
Yeah, it is like. Is it derelict? No, I mean like these are still marble floors. These are like a Malgaktar's
dungeon.
Yeah, it's holding cell energy. I mean, it's like what would an affluent person think is uncomfortable? Like a dorm bed. What they would think is really like deplorable conditions. So there's some benches and there's some bunk beds. It would be like a good place to sleep in the Thorn.
Cool.
You said there were guards?
In the room currently with you? No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay,
Well,
Bay is ready. Yeah, Bay's ready to head out unless
Toss is being pulled out actively.
I think, yeah,
Toss is being required to leave.
Yeah.
As we're heading out,
Again, there
I want to ask Ember about the Sonda reagent supply company, because it seems like that's the sort of thing that you would know about.
That's true. It does.
So what you will know is what I told you.
If you tell me, yeah.
And what as far as what Ember does, you would have done some deals with them in the past, but they're really interested in arcane engineering, and you know that they are kind of they are worshippers of Comus, who is the Djinn of unrelenting progress. But this is just what Ember knows, so I don't know what she's going to share with you.
Oh, I am so sorry. I heard that was my knowledge.
Yeah.
She is happy to share whatever. So she would already have a realization probably of what SRS meant when it was whispered to her, because I didn't know that as a player. She would probably direct us to head maybe towards their company or to check them out. Probably just point them out as a good direction for next investigation.
Okay. And then are you going to would you have let us know that you knew that they're kind of shady, or that they had previously been busted for being kind of shady, or would you keep that to yourself?
Probably keep it mostly to myself, but I get the feeling...
There's like an underlying assumption that because it's you, maybe.
Yeah. I am connected to the shady places. I know this place. It seems familiar, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, come on. 2 blocks down, to the right.
Do you guys want to go and check it out if it's close?
It's not particularly close. It's a couple days. It will be a couple days ride out into the southern wastes.
So
I see.
Is this
the opposite direction from where we're going, right?
No, it's exactly where it is. Because they had people there.
Oh.
And they would go and buy stuff there. So this company has 1 or more physical locations.
Yes. One of their franchise locations
is
out there by the...
Okay. So there might be a franchise location in Haadmurz also, but it would not be the same people or the same place.
Got you.
But it could be the same company. So...
and then, I don't know, Ipa had mentioned maybe that Juan was talking to people about something. Do you think that we should follow on that? Do you think there's anything worthwhile there? Ember?
If he had anything important to tell me, I'm a sister.
He would have let you know.
I think he would have let me know.
What time of day is it?
You're early afternoon.
Okay.
My answer is always afternoon. I'm never like... I never said it's like mid-morning. Like, you know what time it is? 10:30. For some reason, as a DM, if it's day, it's like 1:30 p.m. for some reason. That's all I can think of.
Okay.
It's peak productivity time for me in my life. So
Must be nice.
think. So we're standing outside now. Like walking.
I don't know. I want to see what
Okay.
what Ember has thought.
As we're walking out, I seem to know a good number of the people here and be like friends with them. And at one point, I'm gonna pop into a room and then pop back out after a minute, which is, if you look in, is a kitchen. And yeah, I'm just gonna pop into the kitchen and talk to the people in there for a little while on the way out, just because I want to make sure that, like, okay, they seemed really excited about the oranges, so I just wanted to, like, ask my friends if they can make sure that there's, like, good food for the people who are in custody.
Okay. So as you start to step out of the jail area and kind of hand over the rest of your oranges to the folks in the cells, you will you'll kind of the vine that had buried itself in the floor will kind of rear back up and then re-embed itself, and where it was inlaid previously, it will kind of shift, and the floor will remain kind of this seamless, sealed thing, while this wave of blue-purple leads you out through meandering hallways. At one point, you kind of hear some rattling behind a door, and you see, kind of, with a flash, you see the door open in a flash of white.
No white, just gray.
You see a flash of gray.
The white earlier was something different.
oh, this is you emerging. I see. Okay.
Yes.
Do we see a tiny little kangaroo mouse scurry about?
I arrived. I'm now with you.
Yep. All right. Cool. And so after you kind of make your way down the hallway, after you don't see, you kind of lose sight of Wig for a second, and then they sort of seem to pop back up after a minute as you're trailing this vine leading you out, and you can make your way out to the streets of Verdantia, and you see these beautiful towering trees hanging over nearly every inch of the land here, and beautiful fauna growing underneath, with a number of druids pacing the land, casting deep incantation. What would you like to do?
Did you want to say, like, the stuff that you were trying to say earlier, Kat? Your character was talking about was talking about the supply company, right? And that's when I was like, hey, maybe not in here.
Yeah. I'm just like, let's go check them out. Maybe that'll be a good place for us to take a look at. And then I realized that they don't have any locations in town, so maybe we go out there and maybe go on a little trip.
Okay. Let's see. So that's going to be near the dig site. And then do we know where the nuclei were also supposed to be looking at the dig site? So it seems like, friends, going on a trip. Road trip.
So to be clear, we're going to... Oh, God. We're going out of the city.
Correct.
South. We're not pinning it on the mute girl.
Right. Yes.
We're gonna... Okay.
You got it.
Oh boy. Okay. When do we leave?
Ember puts her hand on your shoulder. Where?
Yes.
Climbs up your body so that she can put her hand on your shoulder.
I'm just tall enough to reach.
Okay.
Look, we're gonna find the stolen goods and probably something more. I'm willing to bet there will be money in it for both of us in the long term.
Okay.
And I'll sell
Yeah.
off what you can't use, and I will
and they're
buy
gonna
you
flunk
something
me.
nice with it.
And you also, it crosses your mind that there's a great, that you've heard about Red Alara, and that there's a very well thought of drinking establishment called the Violet Fiddle.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
You see that when I came out of the other door, by the way, I'm wearing like a new backpack full of stuff, and there's like poles in it and stuff poking out. So I'm clearly packed and ready to go whenever.
Well, okay.
Obviously,
It's just. Can I just be okay? Just can I, Cat, or not Cat. Your name's not Cat. Your name's Ember. Ember. Can you just come here? Just come here, Ember. I've never. Come here. And I really like it down with her. I've never left the city before. Have you left the city before?
Yes and no. Outskirts, a few trips. This will be one of my longer runs. You'll survive.
Oh, okay. Well, it's less about surviving and more about enjoying myself. But we'll workshop it.
She puts her hand on your shoulder. You'll survive.
Okay. All right. Well, crack on, lads.
So, you take a night, you get yourselves together, packed, whatever you need, and you will make your way down to a what is a depot station for what are called Tensor's trains. And this is kind of long convoys of flying discs moving at about 120 feet per second. So it's a really strong maglev train that will haul just about anything or anyone that weighs less than 500 pounds per disc through the desert. And so you can make your way and buy yourselves tickets. The Ohabala will furnish you with the requisite gold to pay for those tickets out to Red Alara, and after about a 3-day ride, you will arrive in the kind of small desert city set up against the Yucatan Mountains, to the north edge of the southern wastes, and you see a large main strip market, a big, beautiful kind of governmental palace with beautiful tile work, and then a number of residences and commercial buildings all around. And you know that the dig site lays just a little bit further east and just a little bit further north, into the Yucatan Mountains, further into the wastes. So, with that, I want to say thank you so much for joining us for our second year of the Concord. And this is where we will pick up next time. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you here.
Yippee.
See you soon.